You're right.
You're pale because you are a pale face.
I'm pale, yeah.
Let's close the door. It's not in frame. There we go.
Okay. I haven't got a draft anymore.
That's better. Okay, so right, today I was buzzing today because I was writing. And so I gave an update on that. But then straight away after it, because I was up to maximum potential trying to write this thing with AI and stuff. And
you're very energized.
Yeah. And then you asked me.
Quite animated.
And then another time during the day we could have had this meeting.
Yes, and we think going forward we're just going to do it as it arises rather than
at some point. And it's more like, oh, hello, forget about you.
Yeah. After everything we just said.
That's right.
Literally.
They only want to engage me.
I did feel alone because I was alone. Oh, I'm alone.
Okay, so so the point is that so it turns into, like the first one, it was a big introduction to everything with it, whereas it needs to be more like a business meeting, and we have to be here. So
earlier on today, we did have a conversation that was kind of touching base on what we're doing, what we're going to do, and
all the things that need to be done.
Days that are coming up, and then we said we should have recorded it, and we said this is much more interesting and lively and animated and less dull and less kind of conscious awareness of the camera. Yeah, of where we're at. So
where you know and I know. It's like, so who's this for? I don't know. Okay, but it should be a functional thing where we're kind of, oh, it's functional. Yeah, it's functional. It needs to be socially functional. So, and reporting about things, everything becomes dull and dead.
Yes, it does indeed.
So, the future orientation. We had a huge amount of hassles about the car. You're on top of the car issue. The fact that it doesn't work. We're about to go on this journey. But you had a nice twist on the car. What was the twist on the car? The car didn't start on Monday. We're leaving in on the 21st. And person was meant to turn up today, but didn't. Maybe it's happening tomorrow.
Yes.
What was the twist that you had on it? What was the positive twist?
Oh, I said, yeah, it's better that it's happened here. And we can deal with that and get it sorted before we get. So
right.
It's not happening whilst we're away.
That's right.
The fields somewhere.
That's right.
In the country.
Montenegro, wherever I'm going. Yeah. And that's a good positive thing. But that led to lots of other things to do with how can you do that?
Transforming. It's about transforming things. And
it's about you can transform things that have happened like that, but we're interested in transforming, like, for example, that faux pas I just made with your friend, yeah? Where it was your friend that kind of did the final bit, but I did something beforehand that induced that person to. And so how do we transform that? You see? Live! You see?
Yes.
And the way you do it is, come on.
Oh.
I'm bored. Bing! Woo! Okay, so it's a physical action when you've thought of something. And you put your finger up because
I was saying about during conversation, I'll think of things, I'll have a gut instinct about something, but I've got into this habit of just thinking things and not actually articulating it or interrupting something.
Or it gets into the meta flow of, oh, I thought about it, oh, but I've agreed that I should talk about it. Oh, but maybe this is the wrong time. And the pinball starts happening.
Yeah, it can do. Yeah, you can think, oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I know, we just talked about it. I don't know why you're like so surprised. That's what
well, I hadn't thought about the right time.
I know.
I was listening. We didn't mention it.
I know, I did mention it. It's just that you weren't quite listening.
I was listening, but didn't hear that. Yeah. There you go. Now I have.
And that's why I was saying, physicalize it immediately, all right? Because it was related to the article which we discussed already in depth somewhere else. So it's trying to indicate to you that there's evidence for the things that you need to do.
Yes.
Okay. And so, yeah, you too. like that. And then I'll go, oh. And then you have to go, oh Christ. Verbalize whatever thought you've got. And therefore it becomes a social relational thing. You did actually, though, you did say something which was positive, that I didn't have to worry about it. I hadn't done it wrong. But it's that comment was not indicative of the fact of the response the other person did. So it's not of the right volume. It needs to be, I said, 0.1, and it needs to be at least 1 for me to register, let alone the other person. Once I can register it and I can engage you, and then we can get it up to a 3 or 4, which is quite healthy. Okay, and if we get up to a 5, we can involve the other person. If we feel confident, we've done a good enough job between us, we can then check with the other person's witness of our verbalization. They wish to participate. And basically, we're apologizing for creating a disorder. Yeah, because we're challenging everything. We need to have this mechanism. Means by which people can witness true relationality.
Yes.
Okay, and if we get that, and we improve that, so it did it kind of, but we need to improve that.
We said it was a step. It's a step in the right direction, a step forward.
Sure. Another time I didn't think so, so I just moved off. And then afterwards I was like, oh, this is so good. And then you started reasoning stuff, and I started blowing up. And you were still quite calm. You weren't going to take part in that kind of method. I was like, oh, you have to do it, you have to do it, you have to do it. Until eventually you went, okay, yeah, okay, I'll do it. No, I've heard you say that before. I've heard you always had that. So, can we get to the point where, so you have done well, and so you did definitely do the thing. So although I felt alone, you did get a little signal. There was a signal coming out of you, but it wasn't quite like getting to me with the volume of social noise that was happening.
It wasn't strong.
It wasn't strong enough. So one, a little bit more, bring yourself. It's not really strength, but it's just bring yourself.
I think it's an aspect of strength. We spoke about sort of courage and bravery in this whole adventure. It's about courage and bravery.
Yeah, if you're going to do
It's also about, if you're going to do something, like I said, it's serious and something you invest in time in, and a period of your life as well, then it should have that attention and it should have that bravery.
Yes.
I think strength, I see a problem with saying strength. It doesn't have to be like, in terms of.
Strength is related to compression mode. Strength is related to compression mode. It's to do with that.
Yes, I think.
Whereas I'm more interested in kind of tension and extension. And
tension.
It's not strength. It's not strength.
Not?
No.
What is it?
I don't. Okay, the Tai Chi, they call it sung. Okay, sung. It's alertness. It means you're holding yourself, but it's not
like
strength.
Poise.
Yes. Yes. Okay. It's like strength. No. Okay. It doesn't mean it collapses.
No, I like
it does
that.
not collapse.
I like that idea. Yeah, it's having like a poise in your assertions or what you're saying and what you are articulating to others.
I.e., bring yourself. Okay, so my form is bring yourself, but maybe you like poise. Okay, poise, bring. Okay, so
verbal poise.
No. It's definitely being state.
Mm-hmm.
You're bringing because you thought the things, you observed certain things, you didn't say those things, and then the second thing happened, then you were like, and then you did say something. Okay, so it's not the statement; it's definitely the thing behind the statement. It's the pre-conscious aspect.
Right.
And so you said something, which is great, but I was like, with the volume that I was getting back, I was like, I don't think it covers it. You just need to bring it, you should have more poise. Okay, you have noticed something, and I'd be like, oh, okay, great. I'm not alone. Fantastic. Okay, because I make these mistakes, But I can't stop from that from happening. And I don't want to. Because that's what the thing we need to do is challenge everything. And yet, we're nice human beings together, and it's okay. The world doesn't fall apart. Yeah? And we've got a better way of going forward, which is trust each other. Okay? And that's what we do with kids. That's what I do with kids. And I do with people that I know. And I do with people I don't. But often it is to reassure people it's okay. Whereas what we need to do is go, it's okay, and we've changed this thing.
Yeah, it's that, and that's what I mean by strength. But we can think of it as
Poise. Strengthening is the compression state. It's like there's various pressures, and I'm.
Yeah, strength associated with pressure.
Yeah.
I guess you put pressure on a tin, it's got the strength externally on the tin to make it press.
Whereas what you're doing is it's like a social extension. And so it's like got better poise. It's a spiritual thing.
I like that idea.
And so anyway, so you did very well with that bit. So you get lots of points for that. You did very well, very well. I made a mistake. Your friend is not doing so well. Is not doing well, and we just got caught up. I got caught up in her interest in what I was doing with the app. We were doing with the app, and she tried to offer some help in a way which was not very nice. And she was talking about people in a not particularly generous way, and that's not part of the game. Okay, and I'm not going to take that. Okay, and I want to be with somebody else that's not going to take that either. Okay, and I think better of them. Okay, and think better of other people. And we need to get better at that, so that people who are actually quite positive about people go, well, is that how it works? Oh yeah, that is how it works, because I know that's how it works. Let's share it forwards. I'm going to share it forwards to a person that's like me that shares it forwards. Fantastic. And the whole thing goes viral because they're just nice people.
Yeah, there's like a positive energy in that, enjoyment, enthusiasm, and I was going to say niceness.
Yes,
But
which is
I'm
kind
not sure what your response to niceness.
I like
was.
nice. No, I think a lot of nice people. No, and it's quite youthful. That level of trust that young people have, certainly with their parents to start with, generally in most cases, and then they go to schools, teachers and staff, and then it's with peers. They're trusting people that they don't even know, and it works.
It's got implicit, isn't it? Implicit.
Yes. Okay. And then it's with people like at work situations. When people are trusting you with something, and you try and do your thing, and you're trying to help people, and they help you, and it's like, wow, this is great. And so it's like all of those. And so it's that, but with a completely different whole set. That doesn't involve jobs, money, identity of that form, selling yourself, loving another person unconditionally in a private sense. There's no condition to the friendship. It's it's just here we are, and we're okay. Okay, and then we're going to separate, and then we get together, and go, oh, here we are again. Okay, that's a good time, yeah. And it's not simple. It's very, very simple. There's a core relationality, which is very, very simple. And if we demonstrate that, and people can witness that, whatever the changes are, people go, well, I like that. Might not shift forwards, might not understand this, that, and the next thing.
Yeah, we've talked about that kind of state of being, having an experience of being and expressing that energy.
Relationally, witness socially. That's the difference. It's the witnessing socially and then being within that social. That's the difference. So us two just together in a room, computer stuff, that's one thing. It's as soon as it's another person, it's a social thing. You do know that, don't you?
Yes.
It's literally a numerical thing.
I probably wouldn't say it's numerical, but I guess when you point it out that way.
Why? Explain it numerically, because we love testing. Sorry, we're not going to be talking about what we're going to be doing, but we're loving this. Okay, this is a bit like a podcast, but it's not. It's a business meeting.
I guess I see it more as presence, human beings' presence.
Yeah, numbers.
No. More than two.
Perfect. Okay, so 2 is relation.
Okay.
Yeah? And so in a group socially, sometimes it's relational, it's multiple relations.
Okay.
Yeah? But when somebody else is witnessing a relation, that's social.
Ah, okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is my book. Obviously not clear. I know, you read it a long while ago. Well, we're going to read it again. We're going to be doing AI on it. It's one of the projects up ahead. Okay, and we can get AI to express it. Oh, look, the numerical analysis is 1, individual, 2 is the relationality, 3 is the social. Oh, really? How? Because there's the 2, and then there's somebody observing it. And then, oh, those 2 talk, and that person observes those 2. Oh, and therefore, yeah. And so that's the complexity of the psychosocial relational thing. Okay? And it's temporal, and it's flicking from 1, I'm an individual thinking, 2, I'm engaging another person concurrently, 3, I'm observing a bunch of other people. Oh, other people and lots of people are doing something or saying something.
I think you're very aware of that and very sensitive to that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of aware of them. I'm not sure if my level of sensitivity is always play.
We have in different contexts, because with your kids, you play up certain things with certain individuals because there is a social context. Right.
Yeah, probably don't think of it in the same terms.
Oh, of course not. Not in the same terms, but you're operating that, because you wouldn't be playing up with somebody and kind of exaggerating something that somebody's doing because of the fact that, oh, wait, there are other people watching. And if it's just this other person, you just say it gently or something like that. Because it's like a public thing. I would call it performative, but there's
an aspect to it.
However, I'm not really interested in that performance side. I'm more interested in the just show the relationality, just be the relation that I know the person that I'm engaging. Okay, with psychology that you have, and the ping thought ideas that are brilliant for game design and for story development potentially. Oh, you might see that this year. We do.
Yeah, you're asking me, yes. Could be.
Maybe.
Will be.
Okay, so the chances are we're going to be fine. We're not going to be engaging too many people. And it won't have, but if we do, or when we do, there is no next time.
No.
It's always now.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps on thinking, it's like, oh, we've got a year ahead. Oh, that's some. No. It's a now that extends. Okay, so yes, we've plenty of opportunity, but the opportunity is always now. The core practice of this, it needs to happen now, not yesterday and not next week. It's now. If we don't do that, and I haven't made it clear enough, I kind of have with you, but it is a little challenging. But you can do it. You definitely are present with me, engaged, fun, and it's that in a social context. It means other people are participating, watching, and then participating. Yeah,
it's realising, because I tend to have kind of one-on-one conversations with adults.
Yes.
And because I tend to, I suppose for a long time, known the value in that, or realise the importance and significance in that. And to some extent, recognise the temporality of that as well.
Yes.
Seeing it in a bigger context of other people is just kind of extending that, I guess, extending that understanding in a way.
Yes, the awareness of it, and remaining. Okay, just relating. So your description of your friend was really touching. It really, it was. It was really kind of, I know the qualities of it and different parts of it, and I was just like, oh yeah, that's really good. And that's in your own head talking about another person, but it is just an individual expressing their psychology. But implicitly, the relationality as well. And anybody listening should be able to hear that if they're even vaguely interested in social relations.
And I think it's something I've been determined at the start of this year, from January, to do more of.
What, day 2, you mean? This is day 2, yeah? Is it this year, yeah? Yeah? Because you kept on saying last year, at the beginning of the year, I was like, all right, yeah. Determined to do it. Well, every opportunity is now. Because there's one aspect of what's going on here. And it's that ping. Okay, it's that pinball. Don't let it go into the ping ball. Okay, but the initial energy of the gut feeling, whatever you want to call it, I think it's the pre-conscious thing. As soon as you start putting your hand up, physical.
Yeah, pre-conscious is a good way to describe it, because you can't explain it in the moment. It just kind of arises.
That's right. And to what I'm saying is enter into the social immediately with that,
Mm.
and then
Well, it's to have the bravery and courage to do that.
yeah, again, if that implies that it's actually like a scary thing to do.
I think initially, understandably, it can feel that. It's not that it is.
Right.
You know, it's like a bat isn't scary, but some people get scared of bats. Like the first time you see the bat, I'm like, it's scary. It's like
No, children will be like, "What's that? What's that?" That's what they're like.
Children, some of them are, not all of them are.
Most children will go like that, yeah. Unless they've had some scary stories told them about vampires, they're like, "Oh, is it a moon?" It's, oh God, what's wrong with this
Well,
child?
children in general.
No, I think that's been denatured. Children,
No,
they sit there trying to walk. They try to walk. And everybody's going, "Oh, they've fallen! They've fallen!"
Children in general have an implicit kind of, I think, bravery and honesty about things. So they don't really scare easily about experiences, don't they? So they try something, you try climbing the climb frame.
Yeah.
So you're not thinking,
No,
oh my gosh, I'm going to slip or I'm going to hurt myself.
no, they can't fucking think like that. No, unless they've had a horrible experience, in which case then they will.
Oh, they've seen all these
Yeah.
kinds of things.
A person falling from it, and then they're just like,
Yeah.
they're crying a lot. They're like,
Uh-oh.
I don't want that to happen.
So yeah, I guess there's an aspect of adults where we can become a little bit removed from that, but innately we still have the quality within us.
Checking the time, other things.
Almost half time.
We innately.
Football. Last time.
Well, no, I think that we're so screwed up that I think that nobody has a clue, right? And so I have to be very careful with the language. So yes, we can call it courage. If you've managed it and you've done it successfully, you can call it courage. If we set it up as a future thing, I'll need courage. I don't know how.
No, I think it's more that in every human being we have an aspect of us that is with a childlike element to it.
Okay.
And that can be fun in a childlike way, or it can be doing something that's just doing something, just giving something a go.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go for that one. Yeah, okay, right. And that's what we're doing. Because we're pioneering the space, okay, it means that kind of attitude is the right attitude.
Yes,
right.
Yeah, definitely.
We're not pioneering into spaces where there are dragons and there are monsters and that. No, it's actually human, and we're actually likable and even lovable, actually. Yeah. And so it's the machine. And that's a different thing than bats and scary creatures, or whatever.
Yeah.
No, it's a freaking machine. And it's that machinery which is making everybody like jittery as hell, untrusting, not trusting others, having a general opinion of people that are very good, and so on and so on and so forth. Okay, so it's been internalized in the psychology of the individual through the relationality on a daily basis. You just go in, you buy your bananas, you leave. Like, you can be rude to people. Like today, you're phoning RAC, was it, or some other service, and you're listening to that, and the thing's going, we don't, expect anybody to be rude to our...
the automated message.
The automated message, because basically people are being rude.
Yeah, and we see a lot of posters and you're saying about buses.
And buses, our train drivers do not deserve
any. You see
any
the doctor's surgery, you see... Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of behaviour is it's happening so much that it seems we have to have stickers. It's like, is that happening? It must be.
Remind us that, and some companies even go as far as saying, like this one today, that you're basically kicked out. We'll get rid of you. You won't be a member anymore. So you'll be disbanded, basically, the organisation.
And so it's got to that level, and you're just like, really? Is it that bad? And it might only be 1 or 2 cases, but it might be quite a lot.
But they're extreme enough to.
1 or 2 extreme, or just generally, people are just being ruder. And so, whereas before, we say it's rude to do that. Now people just say, let's earn my rights. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of justification. That starts to me.
And so it's really work, the whole thing. So we need to have, courage. We need to have the courage as in heart, as in bring ourselves.
Yeah, I think, courage is more to the heart.
Well,
things in the mind. Yeah.
The heart. And so, but for me, it's the preconscious, which means no thoughts, not even the words of courage, thought, hearts, but and it's more that original source that we associate with children.
Yeah.
But it's actually just spirit.
Human spirit.
It's just human spirit, just this kind of weird conscious going. Okay, and
An awakening.
With
Part of the human spirit might not be used for a while, or can be a bit redundant, or just you've lost confidence in it, or whatever it might be.
okay, with another person. That's the trick about it.
Yeah,
And doing that with another person, okay, and for it to be witnessed by others is it. It's a beautiful thing. If we do not have that, I don't know what else. Okay? And it will be brought into question because we are questioning so many different things, and at some point something's going to get triggered. And it's the machinery. We're saying it's the machinery, not the person. It's the machinery. Okay, and we have to stop that. It's okay. Relation. Okay, don't worry. And if we do well enough, no, I think we're doing okay. I think we're doing fine. Okay, it's okay. Okay, and that is the moment of therapy. That in the same way that the giving forwards of something, that act of sharing forwards, the caterpillar, you call it, that single act will strengthen our psychosocial, like it changes the entire economic.
Why did I call it caterpillar?
I've heard it before. You're going to have to wait for another day for Julie to come up with it. All right, but it's definitely you had that thought.
I did.
And you had that line of sight, right? And if that is quintessentially the one thing, share that for us, that one act with money is the fundamentally different thing. I've tried to integrate it in the book. It's like the first things, right? And for people, it is in the moment to be open and receptive to the other person's relation in a social context, like in the moment. So if there's any thought which is negative, you go, wait a minute, and you check the other person. I've thought of something negative. Sorry. Did you? Sorry. What are you saying? Well, I think there's a problem. Do you see? But if you just respond like negatively to it, okay, I used to be called packy and chink and so on and so forth. You know, I did feel a bit bad because of the negative thing towards. I don't know what these things were, right? But the point is, there was racism. I didn't know what racism was, but it wasn't very nice. The intention behind it.
No, it's not.
No, but you know, my brother luckily just at the time I was receptive, and he told me something. And, you know, the children were just doing it because their parents, and I said, "Oh yeah," and therefore I didn't take it personally. I knew it was just something that the kid was just kind of like doing. And there is malintent somewhere in there, but
it doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it right, but no, it's not. They don't really realize that there's a lot of malintent in there. It's just something that happens between people. It's almost like they're just copying something. You know, just experimenting with it, almost. Yeah, can they get away with it? And so they don't really mean it. But if they do it enough, then they might. They don't really understand that it's affecting at the other person, but also themselves. I've never been aware of that. Have you been aware of that?
I'm aware that children copy adults. And
Yeah, but their statements and their expression of it is creating the very thing inside them. Because listening to it is one thing. For them to do it, to call this other person a packy, they don't know. And it's not in them. It's not coming out of them. It's just this thing, a social thing. And it affects the other person, but also it is inserting itself as an intention.
Within them.
Yes. Have you ever thought of that?
I haven't thought of that, no, but I can understand how that works.
Do you think that's true? You see? And so that's the thing. So we're exploring things in our conversations. That's what the podcasts are more. Awareness. Your podcast thing. And we did we went to see a film yesterday. What was it?
The Better Man.
Better Man. And we talked about it. Very interesting.
We did.
It's all recorded, so we're not going to talk about it. But you know, if Robbie Williams listens to that, that'd be fantastic. You know, we're completely unrealistic. Completely unrealistic. It's completely fanciful that he would. but not completely, because we've got mechanisms that if people listened and they thought, well, that's interesting, let's share it forwards. And I probably will could help with reflexive education to improve the social lives of people like him, but kids, and change the world. So he becomes like a global player. All good. But let's not mention that.
That's not I think you just did.
Yeah. So that was good. But you haven't put it online yet.
Not yet, no. I
Me
would have
too.
done it today.
You would have. Yeah, you would have. That's a. Do you know what the would is? Would is will, but in a past. So it's a future past, which means that it will never, ever, going to ever happen.
It will happen.
Will is a possibility. Okay, but that means it's tomorrow. Would is like.
Well, what did I say I'd done to it this morning?
Oh yeah, you listened to it.
I have listened to it and I've picked my section out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So it's a matter of getting the
Technical.
technology.
Yeah,
stuff,
that's the most reluctant.
which is what I was going to do this afternoon until I got caught up in something else.
There's only so many excuses I'm going to accept. But you're right, you've done a hell of a lot. I got involved in some of it, very little. Involved in moving things. Right, what else? So this book thing, we could read a section.
Yes, we didn't do that last time, did we?
No, we can read a bit of it. And how about reading that last thing? I haven't even read it. So we've read, so talk about that story a bit. And that's about it. I'm still working on this story. We haven't done the game. The AI thing. Is there anything about the AI thing? Is there anything new in our discussion that we had earlier today, which we didn't record? There was a reasonable amount about it.
Talked about me doing something with AI because we were similar. You said I'm like Claude.
You like Claude, but also no.
Compliment.
Yeah, it is. But you're a reader, and so
yeah.
you're firing things into this thing, and it's basically giving you content to read, and you're shaping the reading. Now, that's a different thing. Everybody.
Yeah, we talked about and I said, I can understand that because it's something that produces a lot of things to read. So it necessitates you to read, and then you respond by reading
Actively, as opposed to passively. So it's a bit like an editor, but
it came up with a new term. You want to talk about that as well?
Yeah, I will, but let's just stick with yours just for a second, which is that means that it's, whereas most people, it's authors, and they're worried about AI and all this kind of stuff, and then there are a few, like West Coast America and various places in the world that go, oh wait, I can do a jump on the professionals. So the younger people, people outside it, they are starting to use AI to kind of accelerate past the people that are already established as authors, who've got skills, who've got whatever, and they're going, oh no, I can do this, which bypasses that. And same with visuals, all the visual artists are threatened by AI. But there's a bunch of them going, well, I can't quite draw that, but I can get AI to produce it. But it's like, okay, you can produce what's already produced by a person, but now you can produce something different. And so therefore, don't just copy what other people have done with skills. Do something that's not even been visibly possible for whatever reason. Yeah? And so same with stories and narrative.
Yes.
Right, and that's different. So it's not just the writers and they're trying to use AI, it's the readers. That's the thing, it's the receptive state. And suddenly they have a tool. Readers have a tool that they can kind of get sort of to write stuff, and then they can just keep on reading and evaluating, altering and feeding back and
But this came out of your, I think you were saying the process of writing. You felt it was different when you were working with AI.
Yeah, because if I'm writing, I have to write a lot of this text and character and everything else. And that takes up a lot of load, of cognitive load and time and everything else. Whereas if you can just say to AI, okay, the character does this, or it's the plot, and I'm thinking about all the other stuff that I need to think about, and I'm sitting there specifying big chunky text of what it is, and then it's like this thing, and I go, not quite, okay, you have to improve this section, it needs to have this bit, blah, blah, blah. And then it kind of does, and I go, okay. And I'm doing all of this, and it takes me hours, to sit there and think about the plot thing, what am I evaluating, blah, blah, blah. And it's all about the receptive state. But it's quite complex because I'm trying to work a very structured thing. Blah, blah. And then when you kind of like go, you turn up and say, right, I've just done this, what do you think about it? Do you want some tea? Something. I'm like, okay, let me just finish this thing because it's been 2 hours and I'm coming to the conclusion,
Immersed.
and you're just
Fully
going,
immersed in it.
yes, it's a reality bubble of complexity.
Even so much so that when we were cooking, when we started off some food, you just abandoned it.
Yeah, because this last piece, I was like, okay, I'll quickly do this.
We had burnt rice again.
Yeah, 15 minutes, and it was 20 minutes
We
later.
never had any
I was just
of
like,
the con chili stuff, mint stuff.
very well. Yeah.
Rest.
She spotted it.
Yeah.
And so, all I'm saying is that, okay, so, creative director. Creative director, they called people that worked with creative people in advertising agencies. So they call them creative director. The director of a film is not the person that's on the camera, it's the person that directs, that keeps it all together so they can work with the people on the camera, work with the people that are producing the sets, work with the actors.
Yeah, I see it more that they've got a vision. Creative director has like a vision of everything, has an overall idea what it'll look like.
You see, and they have that. It's a visual medium. So some directors are visuals, some people is the plot, some people is the characters, whatever it is. They have different flavors. So all directors are different ways.
So I think creative directors you can have like for ballet as well. You can have for lots of different things, music, concerts.
So it just means somebody that is creative, but kind of with people. They're not doing the thing itself, but they're helping other people produce the thing, and then they are maybe like some conductors. You've got the conductors keeping the time out.
Oh, yeah, because I said that was, we said that about, we talked about that, didn't we? About the orchestra and the conductor, and it's a good analogy.
Okay, apart from just reminding us two of that, which specific can you remember the action?
No.
There are 3 types. There's a video, it's really good. One guy's going, it's like military, keep to the bit, if you don't, I'm going to hammer you. And then there's another person doing this kind of, okay, here it is, it's quite good, it's good, and it's with them. And then there's the other person that's just listening. And they're the first listener, and they go, oh no, just a bit more.
Oh yeah,
Just like,
yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, very kind of subtle gestures, really.
Yeah.
Bringing out.
Bernstein was the second type, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the last one is you trust the orchestra, a huge amount is to be able to do that.
Yes.
That's incredible.
And
The first one needs they need reassurance, or they need to know what it is, and everyone else needs to know what that is. And technical accuracy. The middle one. That's a little bit of a mixture, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, and passionate and really bringing it together.
Yeah, probably more into that.
Actively participating.
Yeah, swept up in
I think that's BC.
Emotional.
Yes. And an active player, whereas the third is more receptive as the listener, which is a little couple of drinks. They're in the audience listening. Little more.
You also love being a conductor.
So they're different people that basically work. They're not playing the instruments, but they're helping. So we came up with a role.
Hard graft.
So AI, we've got what are they called? They're called prompt engineers, because coders have created the AI. So the people using this thing are first testers, coders. So the first bit of language that they're going to think is, it's engineering. No, it's not engineering, but it's language construction of some kind. But what I'm interested in is the layer above that, the creative, who's there's something on a second order away from what's the actual type that.
We talked about being behind, didn't we? Someone behind the prompt.
So that's what I feel as if I'm doing. I'm doing something creatively in some sense, but I'm not really an engineer. I'm not sitting there I don't come up with text. I think there's going to be different roles of prompt engineers, let's just call them. And just every company in every form of anything, you get different layers of people because they're paying attention to different aspects of what it is. And so
different levels of involvement, maybe, in that sense.
Resolution, focus. So that's what we're playing around with. Can we produce things? Because I've seen videos of people helping people, how do you create this, that, or the next thing, mostly visual. Maybe there are people sharing how to write with AI. I haven't actually seen it. I haven't done the test.
No, I
Interesting.
good to do.
That's right. So let's have a look at what we've done here. Let's do it. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Window, really big. Okay, so here it is, this window over here, and we're going to make it a bit bigger.
But if you make it too big, then the actual text becomes small. Oh.
Can we see that, folks? All right, I don't know. Can people see it? I don't know.
As long as it doesn't make you wear glasses, that's always good.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Is that good enough?
Yeah.
Right. So, okay, there's a story. We're not going to go into the great story. Okay, we're in the third act.
I'm just going to plunge them in there.
Yeah. And this is the third act, and this is scene 5. This is the final one, although I think I'm going to follow because of the rice and the cooking and everything else. We'd read the revised version,
Yes.
second version of, I think, Act 3, and you read the second one, and you thought it was quite good. Apart from the last scene, we just went, oh, that was a bit unsatisfying.
Yes.
And I was like, I know it's meant to be, but you find that a bit discomforting.
Yes.
And so I showed you the reworking of the act yesterday, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And you thought it was better. It was good. Or was it today?
Today.
And you thought it was good?
Mm-hmm.
No, I saw it yesterday. Then I did another revision, and I said, right, I've merged both these things now. I've changed some major aspects.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was another version, and again, because you're a reader, you were like, oh, okay. And you read it, and you thought, oh, that's interesting. It's good. Better even. Yeah. But the last scene or whatever wasn't quite there. So I don't know. I merged it together, and I think you've read it up to this point. I think you have. I can't remember now. You see, that's the problem. There's so many versions.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're into this one, and
Has it already shared it? Is that why it won't?
wow, it's because this is sharing screen and it doesn't allow it. Might be.
I think it will save somewhere else.
Oh,
Or can you stop share screen opening and share it somewhere else?
wait a minute. Yeah, okay. That's weird. Okay.
And then do share screen.
Okay, that's a terrible start. Oh. Bollocks. There it is. End stream. Nope. Okay, here we go. Right. Oh, shit. Window. Okay, here it is. It's going to work. Let's see if it does or it doesn't. Yeah, it works. So this is the only time we use a swear word. All right, bollocks. I think in the book. But
Yes, then you want to remember.
okay, have a quick read of it and let's just see where it goes. Okay, so I tried to change something around. I can't even remember the story. And this is what happens. You need to upload your memory with various things, and I did it with you last time. And then you could get up to speed and then you could read it.
Yes.
So sadly, we don't have that. So let's just do this now because this is artificial. But on another day, we could do this better. Right, scene 5, field work. So that's Wells is the agent, remember? So Wells has basically said, we've been manipulating people and we've been doing this thing.
She's a female agent.
Yeah. And she said this, and he's just gone, and but where's Maya? We don't have anything to do with Maya's disappearance. And okay, what about this book? No, the guy who wrote the book is just nobody. And so he's just left sitting there going, what? And he's been following this kind of paranoia trip with Maya, but Maya's actually disappeared. So so he's confused. So he's just bollocks. He doesn't understand. He can't quite compute it. He doesn't know what else to do.
Yeah, I can't really process what's happening, can he?
And the point is, Maya's gone. So he's just like. So I asked AI to come up with something. Okay, include the detail of his return to the field, the specific people he speaks with, the institutional influence that's revealed. Because AI wrote one version, so that's version 2. And the first version is so thin, it's so empty. I was just like, rubbish. So I need for AI to come up with institutional influence that's revealed. So I'm trying to, and I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to work. Okay? But I'm setting this up, and this is the second attempt. I probably have to do it 2 or 3. I would like the specific people he speaks with in the field, i.e. people he speaks with like at the university or somewhere in Minnesota, Minneapolis, or whatever it is. The institutional influence that's revealed, i.e. why were they doing this? Oh, it's because that company did this. Okay. And then going to speak to tracing to the person high up in that institution and an organization with pressure.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Which is tied to Chen. And Chen is the big financial guy.
Yes.
Because he wants to go and speak to Chen, but he needs to have an angle, pressure to speak to Chen. Yeah. He's got enough to indicate that the suppression would be happening without his say-so. That's what we get. We need to have some writing that indicates that. You get that? Yeah. When Sarah gets back to him, it is a courtesy call. Who cares if the game is being suppressed? Okay, Sarah is a friend, contact, relationship. They are happy with what they are doing with the version they've got because they've got this version of this game that they're playing, right? And they're doing that. This one that's happening locally, they don't care. The thing that's happening locally is worthless. So the agents just said, the author, they're worthless. And they're people saying, the thing that you're doing, no, that's worthless. That's not of interest. We're not showing this there. We're not interested. They don't know who came up with the game. Or the author. They're not even interested in the author. So Zed is left with everything worthless, but Maya is still missing. So I've set up this prompt. It's not enough. And that's why I think we're going to read something here. But this is like 3 versions, long, lots of mixes. We've had 2. There's a process in this whole thing. And we've got to the end of 3rd act, and I need to ship. And that prompt was the last of a whole thing, prompts. Oh, actually, I started again. Okay. Right, we good? So let's try. As soon as it goes off what I'm interested in, I'm going to stop. Okay. Ooh, that's interesting. Her eyes track the exit routes. The AI has a tendency to do that, isn't it? It's an expression of nervousness. Look for exits.
Yes, I was going to say there's a lot of exit routes, exit doors. There's a lot of, when they finish a conversation, the woman usually looks back over their shoulder and says the last thing.
I think all we need to do is one, and then he chases that one. So it's gone into the variety. I wasn't specific enough. Okay, so it's another example. We might only need one. Well, that's good. So what it's done, it's gone, well, this, okay, not sure I'm going to trace that. Oh, look, this was more direct. That's an alternative. You see, that's what it's saying, but we don't know. It's too heavy.
Yeah, it's kind of, stating.
It's stating that it is, and I'm saying he's putting it together rather desperately to get some stuff so that he can approach Chen and say, I've got something on you. So they
their partnership.
Mention their partnership with Chen's companies. Why would they do that?
What's Ford Foundations?
Yeah, who cares? But the point is, that doesn't even make any sense. So So basically, it's too obvious.
Yes.
Okay, and I'll be asking it to edit it, and I will be writing a prompt, which I'm not going to do now. But basically saying, no. It's got to be he's tying it together, and he thinks that's what he's doing. Oh, okay, you can get away with thinking that's. What do I want to make it clear to the reader that he's being a bit desperate here.
But I think it's fallen into
Rubbish.
the trap it fell in before, where it kind of reveals everything very obviously.
Yeah. Yes. Whereas I've managed to produce stuff where there's quite a lot of hits and things.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
Not bad language though. It was chasing ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Worthless. Wait a minute. Now she's admitting that they are behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that needs to be discerned.
Mm. But I quite like what she says, you know, that idea of strength in network, texting, resilience, the ones that matter, adapt and survive.
Well, that language is correct, but that's what the agent's doing. Why they're doing that, why they're doing that, who's actually behind them. And he's thinking it's Chen, and I want them for it not to be Chen. Okay, at least another kind of like thread. Okay, it's not too bad, but it needs to. Do you see? It's forming, and I have to know what is forming, and I have to know what it's leading to, so on and so forth.
It does a lot of this time to stop or time to do, time to at the end of the sections as well, doesn't it?
Well, it went in for
Which could be like a motif all the way through.
not all the way through.
But,
This act, it starts to become
oh, okay.
for some reason. God, the AI came up with it.
Mm.
Before it was all about games.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
This one's now about time.
Mm.
For some reason, it's time. And I went, okay,
It's
time.
time.
Time's good. It is all about time.
Yes. Yeah, it's not irrelevant.
No. It's very pertinent.
Yes.
So anyway, so that's that. Not bad, but
Yeah.
I'll improve it and then give it to you.
Yes.
I want to give you like final passing, not final passing, but more of a final than this. Okay, so that you can.
It feels quite minimal and it feels quite informative. I think that section does.
Okay.
Yes, I think it needs.
Oh yeah.
Needs
More substance.
Yeah.
It's only a couple of paragraphs. I need to expand it to reasonably chunky sequences. Okay, so that's good enough. Time are we now? 53. Right. Stop soon. Right. So, it's taken me, a week or something or other. We're into Act 3. There's 5 acts. There's, transformation in each one. There are phase changes, awareness, I think. And depending on what people do, sharing forwards, it's built into the story that sharing forwards, I think, is implicit, maybe explicit, in Act 4. Okay, so that's a real, it's going to be really wacky.
Yeah, I think it'd be good if it's implicit and explicit.
It's explicit because it's about a book, and not about the book the person's reading, but implicitly it's suggesting that the book they're reading. So it's implicit. So we're talking about a book, and we're sharing forwards. Implicitly means the person's reading.
So how many people would have read that section that we just shared?
That thing, just now.
Yeah.
You.
Okay.
But that particular section is even going to be,
with the people who've joined us?
No, nobody has.
People do have a look at it. They'll read it.
Retrospective I see from the future. People in the present, at some point in our future, they've read the story. And they're like, oh, this is interesting. What was the first time? Oh, look, this is where they were. And they could look at this bit and here they are. And they're like, what? That doesn't look like that in the book. I know. I think it would be good to record, I might do that. It's just a session, but it's not one of these. But of how I'm writing and so on and so forth.
Yeah, because you spoke about the difference in the process you noticed in writing. In a different way, I would say.
Yeah.
Probably lots of different ways, from handwritten to typed to this now.
So this is quite interesting. Yeah, okay, maybe I'll do a session. Okay, fair enough, thanks. I'll do that. I'll do a little recording of maybe continuation from that. Just tomorrow.
As I said, for me, just to play with AI, it takes quite a lot for me to take me away from my pencil and writing. To make that transition, to do it gradually, really, because there's something natural about the feel of it and the fluidity of that, and then actually working with AI is a very different feeling and quite a different approach. Does that matter, and is that a good thing? Because it could change my style of writing and what I actually produce.
It definitely changes.
Yeah. Is that a good thing?
Yes, because if you do it, then it is. Is the other thing good? Yes, for what it is. Okay. But I've got used to writing. I have gone back to pencils and things every so often in my life. I have recently. I make lots of notes, but in terms of fictional writing, digital, that's the transition between that. This thing of using the AI is a lot of thinking for both. But the speed at which you can get something back and then go, that's not quite right. And shape
the immediacy of it, and then the willingness we spoke about, didn't we, as well, to actually work on it.
So it is like working with people, and you're kind of saying things, and then you get this thing, so no, it's not quite right. Well, what am I evaluating? I don't know. I've got my own ideas of what I'm trying to do. It's not. It's definitely quite specific. However, does it actually get the result? And will it work with another reader? Probably not, because the things I'm interested in, for whatever reason, quite sometimes do not translate to other human beings. But I do like watching films and various things, and so I don't see. If I like Matrix and I like Dune, and I like the books, Dune as well, and I like certain things, then I would have thought that the thing that I produce would be like things that I like. Sure, you would have thought.
Elements of it.
Elements.
Yeah.
And so if somebody likes Dune, they might like my thing, as in the book. And it is. My stuff is more like Frank Herbert's Dune than it is Asimov, although it's quite like Asimov too. And Phil K. Dick.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can.
Yeah, because these people influenced me. I read these things when I was adolescent. I was like, woo, this is good. And so you think that the thing you produce would be, it is, they are. If you look at any of my writing, Frank Herbert's Dune, although people talk about, incredible scenes, the book has fucking nothing. All right. I mean, nothing. Sorry. You okay?
Yeah.
Right? Nothing about, visuals and stuff. Very little in visuals. And so when the film came out, it was David Lynch's film.
What's this thing about having, I'm not sure it's the same one.
No.
One of them they said about having lots of open spaces.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. That's what he does. This guy Villeneuve does these things that are just like vast, open, empty spaces.
Yeah,
and my brother has that too with his writing and stuff, and his games, computer games, are all just like empty, vast spaces because he just loves that kind of thing. But I just sit there and I go, it's not very human, is it? He has these great big open spaces, and it's a style of French graphic animation I've seen a couple of, and I go, lots of open, big, wide spaces. Okay. Whereas David Lynch's first film, 1984, when it popped up, and I watched this as an adolescent, and I hadn't read the book at that point. I was just like, I didn't even know what it was, but I was very impressed by it. I'd be very, very impressed until, even as an adult, after reading the book and everything and watching it again, I was just like, this is an incredible film. The director thought it was terrible because he didn't have full director's cut. He was a bit like a child in that regard. But in terms of what he did put in and what he did produce and what they produced, phenomenal. They've got like a spaceship. Okay, the spaceship has a gilded
Window?
frame.
Door?
A gilded frame, like from the 16th century, 17th century, 16th, 17th century.
You're working out
French.
There would have been able to actually invent it and do it.
Yeah, they were doing these things, with mirrors, and pictures, and we'd have these incredibly ornate golden, and it's on the side of a spaceship, the size of the UK. Okay, and you're just like, sorry, what? And it's just gilded thing. It's like the genius. There's so many kind of visual genius things.
Impressive.
Oh,
Stunning.
oh, stunning beyond all belief because it's atemporal. Because this is meant to be the year 10,000, and so therefore, it's not like your normal sci-fi. You've got like Star Wars. You've got like 2001. It's just like they're just taking historical things and just go poof, 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 and you're just like, these are juxtapositions that are quite frankly unbelievably amazing. And so many things with visuals and things like that. And the Baron Harkonnen, other people have said, is like melodramatic, way better than the current one, who's just dull as dishwater. Very menacing. Bold guy.
Is it because when they
menacing, and then dissolves back, I'm going to speak like this. Menacing. It's like, you're not menacing! Ah, tedious. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You open up the Pandora's box. Boop, boop.
Because you open it for yourself. That's the thing. It's not like someone else opens it.
Yeah, we're finished. Really sorry. You want to add something?
Something. Oh yeah. Do you think David Lynch's version was like that because he was kind of quite cutting edge? I mean, he's quite experimental with things. Is it Twin Peaks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he did a Razorhead, before that thing. And was it just a Razorhead? He did some, outlandish kind of like crazy
so
film.
he is like.
Oh,
He's like,
but
and then he's always first within that film genre or that kind of story to do that as well.
he just had a unique, independent kind of like visual thing.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, he got a lot of money to make this. And it could have been somebody else. They were trying to get maybe Spielberg or somebody, I can't remember, to do it. And anyway, so they gave it to him, this young guy who'd never had that amount of money, with this amount of scope, with this amount of tools, i.e. people creatively to create stuff. And so it was just like, I don't know how he got the right people involved to produce visuals that are nowhere, I don't know, in the book. All right, this is definitely a visual thing he's come up with. In the same way that Villeneuve's come up with his, because the book itself, as I'm saying, it's just dialogue. It's just conversations. And there's very little description of where it is. And that's what I do with my stuff. It's generally just like, here's some conversations. Oh, here's another one.
I think David Lynch might like to provoke.
Who?
Provoke to reaction.
Oh, yeah, visually. I mean, every single freaking thing he does, every single scene, you're just like, what's that? Who's this thing? Like, come on, what's going on? And people are downplaying it because people are basically, and they want to respect the director because he just, because they took control. And so they did give him a voice.
Politics.
It was a politics thing, but it's creative. He's bruised creatively. His ego's because you've got to. I think a lot of these people have got massive egos, and although he's a Buddhist, yeah, he's all mindfulness stuff. So I don't know if that happened because he got so bruised that it blew him up, and at some point he had to reconstitute himself, or if he had that in the first place. I don't know.
And it grew because he realised he was going away from that.
I don't know enough about these people. So
Time's up.
time's way up. Right.
So next time it'll be more spontaneous in the moment
No, it's just
capturing
business work.
Yeah, really capturing of that discussion as it emerges.
But it's also related to, it could be just, And I think the regular thing is we're doing this, we've done this, we've created this, share
Yeah,
this.
it has that.
This is what we're doing next time. This is what we're doing tomorrow.
But we tend to have those conversations in the morning.
Well, we'll do that recording then.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
The spontaneous things can be extra things that we just record as separate things. Okay. If you catch me doing that, but also catch you
Catch you
perhaps.
if you can.
Day 2
Of January 2025.
the year
It's already
everything.
not a full year ahead.
The year everything changed.
It's not a year though, is it anymore?
The year everything
Oh,
changed.
the year.
The
It's not a whole
Two-
year.
2025, the year everything changed. Not just AI, as we know. We're saying social. So, can we do it?
Yes, we can.
We are salt.
Can we bring the flavour?
Bringing the flavour.